Thank you.
Is mine on?
Yeah, we're
Mine's
on.
on.
This is great.
Excellent.
Hey, how's it going, day 2?
Welcome. Good morning. How is everyone doing today? So thrilled, so excited. All right, so here is our high-level pitch for you, right? Understanding more and playing with the basic tenets of improvisational comedy are the keys to the success of your team, of creating that culture of success. And what we're gonna do today is help you find the agency to change that culture on your team, in your life, in the world, and beyond. But first,
let's talk a little bit about improv comedy. We've thrown this out there a couple times, so what exactly is it? Improv comedy is an art form that is completely made up on the spot. There's no script, there's no rehearsing. Usually starts out from getting a suggestion from the audience, and from that point forward, everything there is made up for that one time and that one time only, never to be seen again on stage.
So today we are going to make improvisers out of all of you. Super exciting, right? We're going to start that by playing a little bit with collaboration in something I like to call a dramatograph. Okay, data nerds, brace yourselves, because this is a live action representation of data. So on the right here, right, you've got this cool heart. There's lots of people wearing fun colored shirts. They're all sitting in a particular order. And then in that, you make up this very cool rainbow colored heart. Each of those people is a data point assigned a value, which is the color of their shirt, and then they're plotted on this plane, which then creates this heart shape. So today, we are all going to be our own data points, because we all hold data inside of us, right? The length of our history and all the experiences we've ever had. So today, we're gonna do that, but let's see what kind of data do we wanna play with. Let's do location and space, okay? So we're gonna make our very own maps today. All my friends down here in the orchestra, you guys are gonna have your own map. And all my friends up there, you guys are gonna have your own map too, don't worry. So we're gonna have 2 maps, okay? And then in order to plot the points on that plane, we need some kind of orientation, right? So let's make a compass, shall we? Say that Sean and I over here are the north, okay? And then the back here where my friend Nick is with the camera, and then all the way back there in the booth, that's all the south. Yeah, you got it. My friend up there, thank you, hello. And then we have the east, which Sean will gesture towards because I'm bad at directions, and west, which is the opposite of east. So we got that much going. Awesome. So let's see. One thing I want to say before we continue into this dramatograph is when Sean and I teach improv, we always say that there's no right way to do one thing, right? Everything that happens is a gift. There are no mistakes. So don't be scared. It's totally fine. We're going to have an awesome experience together here right now. Okay, so we have a lot of brilliant people in this room, right?
I feel like we have a lot of intelligent people that can solve
feeling
this
the
problem for us.
intelligence over here.
Yeah.
So let's hope that you guys can all answer this question. Where were you born? Show us where you were born. You have 90 seconds. And begin. Get up and do it. Show us.
Again, we're north, south, east, west.
Show us where you were born.
2 completely separate maps. We've got one down here, one up top.
Show us where you were born. You have to move. You should try to move, or you can make up where you were born. I would never know. I don't know anybody here. Yeah, what up, my friends down here? That's cool. Yeah, no problem.
This is north, south, east, west. You're doing terrific.
You guys are doing awesome. This looks great.
This looks great. We got about 30 seconds.
30 seconds. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25.
That is the back of the map.
23,
so if the
22,
cutoff is right there,
21,
that's where the
20,
southernmost part
29,
of this map is
20,
located.
27, 26, 25, 15.
Hey, Matt.
12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. one. You nailed it.
Got it.
This was awesome. Oh my gosh. Let's start on this side. My friends down here. Generally shout out. Where are we from over here? Western Hemisphere. Awesome. What about my little contingent over here? Where are you guys from? Minnesota. Very cool, very cool. And then we got a lot of folks from here. East Coast, what up?
Where are we going?
Where are we going? Let's start down here. North. Michigan. Jersey. Excellent. Pennsylvania. Very cool. And then my friends up top. Where are you guys from? Shout it out. Shout it out.
Yes, Pittsburgh.
Yes. I'm not from there, but Sean is. At some point in his life. And then from the center here, we got a couple lonely friends. Excellent. Missouri. Let's keep it going. Yeah.
Denver.
Great place for beer.
Awesome.
Very cool. All right. You guys nailed that. Give yourselves a round of applause.
Excellent. So everybody.
Don't move, but give yourselves a round of applause.
So everybody stay right there. Let's just take a quick mental snapshot of exactly where you are in orientation of the map that you have right now, because we're about to answer a second question when I say go again. So right now we've answered the question, where were you born? This is the question, where are you from? And to make sure that these might be the same answers, but if you were to ask me where I was born, I would say New Jersey.
Hey, Sean, where are you from, though?
Where am I from? I'm from Hershey, Pennsylvania.
Very different places.
So, thank you.
Chocolate man. All made of chocolate.
So great. Great. So when I say go now, in a second, you're going to go to where you identify that you are from, and you have 60 seconds. And
go. 60, 59, 58, 57.
We get to 15 seconds.
Thank you. 52, 51.
Again, same orientation of the map, north, south, east, west. Some of you may or may not move.
You may or may not move, that's also fun.
Got about 30 seconds.
I feel like people have nailed it.
Yeah, this looks
You guys look like you nailed it. Are we good? Yeah, we're good?
We good?
All right, on the count of 3, I want you to shout out where you are from. If you are from somewhere that is different from where you were born. 1, 2, 3.
All of those were great answers.
That was beautiful.
Every single one of them.
All those great answers. All right, one more mental snapshot, right? We got it in our brains. One more question for you is, where would you like to visit? And again, this is a map that we are making up today, all on our own, with this compass that is lazily created on a PowerPoint presentation. So again, you're gonna have another 60 seconds. Think about where you really wanna go. That PTO, burn the hole in your pocket. Where are you gonna go?
60 seconds.
60 seconds! Would you get into the timer dance with me?
Do it.
Timer dance. This is the timer dance to silent music.
Got about until 21.
This is how we map it. Do 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 do. This is how we map it. This is how we map it.
You got it.
Someone's gonna get me on film singing. This is how we map it.
Oh, somebody joining us on stage. Awesome.
Oh,
welcome.
welcome.
Alan.
In the way north, the super north. Yeah? Yeah?
All right.
Yeah?
It looks like we figured out where we want to go.
Yeah? We're about there. Those folks up there, they're moving somewhere else. You can get as close as you'd like. Oh, okay. That's, yeah. I mean, but it depends on how high up in Canada, right? You could be like, Prince George is like over here, right? Yeah. All right, you guys nailed it. All right,
you guys
excellent.
got it. So really quick, stay right there.
Stay where you are.
I want to show some love to our map that we have back there. Where do you guys want to go visit back there? South Virginia. You're doing terrific so far.
Like, what kind of South? What kind of food are we eating in the South? Warm weather, that's good.
Fair
warm
enough.
is good. There's seafood in the warm weather South. That's good. Okay, what about over here in the top, up top there? Where are you guys visiting? The Wales? The Vale. Oh, the Vale. Yeah. Skiing is cool. That's not Wales at all. This is a completely different thing. Totally different. Singapore.
Singapore?
Yeah, cool.
Great.
Thank you.
Excellent. What about our map that we have down here? You're visiting your
Ah,
seat. Seattle.
Seattle.
Seattle,
What about back
awesome.
here?
Alaska.
Excellent. We're gonna keep on going over here. Oh wait, our friends on the stage over here. Where are you guys visiting?
Oh,
There we
yeah.
go.
Nice.
Yeah, thank you. All right, back to the center. Back to the center over here. Michigan. Canada. Where are you going? Antarctica? You're welcome to get on stage, man.
Get up
Come
here.
on here. Chris, I see your name tag. Get on stage. Excellent. High five.
What about people over here?
Yeah, what about people over here? Europe, New York,
Nice.
Japan. Excellent. All right, one more mental image. We have nailed it. We've done 3 now. Excellent. So, what are we going to do? We need a live action representation of the data that we put together, right?
Right.
Thank you. So what we're going to do when I say go, which is not right now because I'm explaining things, everybody lean in a little bit so I know you're listening. Excellent. What we're going to do is we're going to answer these questions through movement backwards, so you're already in where you'd like to visit. You're going to go back to where you were from and then go where you were born. When you arrive at those locations, I'll know that you've gotten there by jumping up and shouting, "Wherever I am!" And then that's how I'll know. And then you move on to the next one. You got it? So we're doing a little map choreography here today. Cool? And then we're going to have a beautiful dramatograph in this space. Yes, please. Please jump.
Great question.
If you cannot jump, you can do this. If you cannot do this, you can just go like this. I don't care. It's fine. Enthusiasm is key here. All right. Are you ready? Ready and
go!
Where would you like to visit? Yeah. Show me where you are from. Excellent.
Did it. Good. Nice.
This is looking beautiful. This is looking good. Yeah, jumpers. Yeah.
Nice, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Woo.
That's the right choice, though.
You guys now. Yes. Guys, you're giving me pins and needles. This is so beautiful.
Nice, Iowa.
Yes. Woo. All right. Give yourselves a round of applause because we're adults at a conference. Yes. That was beautiful. You guys may all now take your seats because we have some more things to say. But that was really F-bomb awesome. Can I curse here? I don't know. I'm going to say F-bomb. This is fun.
Okay. Like we said, there's no mistakes in this.
There's no mistakes here.
Your choice is the right choice.
That was such a beautiful map. I honestly have chills. I have chills that I've got like goose pimples all over me. That was so cool. All right. So while you're all getting settled and take your seats, we'll talk about the boring stuff, which is like, who are we and how did we get here and why are we here? All great questions.
So my name is Sean Ellis. I wanted to be a dentist. We can all see how well that's turned out. So in addition to doing improv comedy, I'm also an actor, a podcaster, and I produce short films for short film festivals that are in the area. I support public-facing DHS websites for Department of Homeland Security.
That's why you said DHS. It was
Correct.
good. I'm glad you said it out. So my name is Melanie Harker. I come from a family of creative weirdos. My dad was a computer builder, which kind of makes sense why I'm here, turned photographer, turned French chef, so that was an interesting turn. And my mom is an Irish traditional ethnomusicologist, which means she can intake oral history of music and then transcribe them down on paper. I have a long history of being a summer camp counselor, which makes a lot of sense for why I jump around a lot. Thank you. Yeah, summer camp. I love it. I have a degree in theater performance. So professionally, I had a fairly substantial career as an arts administrator. I was a professional stage manager, director, actor, writer, singer, bad dancer. And now I do communications and marketing. By the way, we're both dating. And we both perform and do stuff with Washington Improv Theater out in D.C. Sean performs on the weekends, has a show on Saturday if you're free. And I coach and direct different teams and special projects there. And of course, you can tell by our t-shirts, we both work for Blackstone Federal. Whoop, whoop. So, Now let's talk about improv.
Right. So improv, as we mentioned, it's a very ephemeral art form. You're creating everything on the spot, and then afterwards, it's completely gone. It's disappeared. You're never going to do it again. When we're instructing and we're working with people for the first time on this particular art form, it can be scary. And a lot of times, people refer to it as walking a tightrope without a net. Because getting up on stage to be able to do public speaking can be frightening for some people. But getting up on stage in front of a paying audience for 30 minutes and you have absolutely no idea what you're about to talk about, that could be terrifying.
Yeah.
So a couple key things for improv, a couple touch points that people might have. You guys all might be familiar with improv comedy from Drew Carey on Whose Line Is It Anyway? It actually got started in Italy in the mid-1500s with an art form that's called commedia dell'arte, and there are a lot of notable modern contemporary theaters that have talked about improv comedy that are most notably in New York, Chicago, LA. You probably know some of the people that we've seen on television, being Amy Poehler, Tina Fey, a majority of the cast from HBO's Silicon Valley.
Those guys are awesome. Oops, so yeah.
We talk about some of these basic tenets of improv. So what actually are they? So let me start with listening. Listening is very simple, but yet very hard to do sometimes. Active listening is really being able to click in, engage with that person, and focus on that one singular conversation. It's being able to not only understand the fact that there are going to be verbal cues, but there's also a lot of nonverbal cues to be made aware of too.
Agreement is a real cornerstone of improv. We talk about yes and, which may be something you've probably read or seen somewhere. What that means is I'm saying yes to an offer that my scene partner is making, and I'm going to add on to it to make it even better, even more interesting, and then propel the action forward. So for instance, if I was to say to Sean, like, hey, Sean, do you want to break into that booth? He would say,
yeah, I want to break into that booth, and I brought a crowbar with me.
Perfect, that's why we're a team. But if he was to say something like, hey, Sean, you want to break into that booth? And he said,
no, that would be illegal. I don't want to do it.
Well, now I'm going to go home, I guess. And that's the end of the scene. Not interesting, right? You want the stuff to move forward, and that's humiliating for me. It's hot garbage to you guys. It's just not fun or interesting. So saying yes, don't matter what someone offers you, is always a good way to keep that going.
Collaboration. This is so critical. Every time I get up with a group of people to go out on stage, when I'm backstage about ready to go out, we all go over to each other, look each other in the eye, pat each other on the back, and say, I got your back.
I got your back.
It's understanding that there's support that's in this group. There's trust that's there. It's at no point in time when I go out on stage for those 30 minutes, do I have to carry the entire weight of that performance on my shoulder. It's a shared responsibility between everybody that's out there. We're all collaborating together.
Empathy is another important one, which may seem a little strange, but when you're on stage and people will endow you or have you become some kind of strange and unusual character, like, for instance, a plumber. I've never been a plumber. I'm wearing heels. I don't know if I can go plumbing right now. But sometimes you're asked to become a plumber, and you have to put yourself into that person's shoes and perspective, and that is empathy.
Storytelling. I know that we've actually had some talk about storytelling this morning, which is excellent. So storytelling in this sense is what we have for traditional narrative storytelling, being that I'm sure that we're all familiar with this. Once upon a time, there was somebody who was doing something. At some point in time in their life, then suddenly there was a pivotal moment. And from that point forward, all of their actions are related back to that pivotal moment. Classic storytelling structure that we have that's available.
All right, so now you've got improv down, but why do we make you do this crazy dramatograph thing, right? Well, let's reflect on what happened. Besides the chaos of the movement, right? You probably made eye contact with at least like 3 or 4 or 5 brand new people you've never seen in your life, hopefully. Maybe you saw some people that were familiar. You probably found out that some people are in and around your hometown that you were like, hey, there's a lot more representation from where I'm from than I thought. Or maybe you're like, yeah, I'm the one guy here who wants to go to Singapore, which is also really great.
Yes.
And from all that, the basic bottom line is that we all brought ourselves to a conversation about location. And that is improv at its core. It's bringing yourself to a conversation and seeing where that takes you.
I always think about it in terms of when I catch up with some friends, either at a bar, a coffee shop, at home. It's that riffing. It's that spitballing. It's that engagement. I'm actively listening to that person. We're having fun. We're bringing up history of things that happened in the past. We're talking. We're spitballing. We're just making fun of each other and having a good time with that. That, at its core, is also improv.
All right, so now we're going to get to DevOps, because that's what the day today is, right? DevOps DC. So when we were putting this presentation together, I had this crazy thing that I woke up in the middle of the night and I was like, I need to Google search DevOps and then go to the images, and this is what I found. Oh my God! So we are going to improvise our analysis of this, whatever this is. Sean.
Oh my God.
There are a lot of gears. What's with all the gears?
I have no idea. There's a lot of gears that are inside brains. So evidently there's motion, there's velocity of things that are happening.
But some of the gears are nautical. Some of them are nautical, and some of them are dangerous. They're poisonous.
This gentleman brings up a great point. Really attractive man, right smack in the middle.
Yo, what up? No, just kidding. Just kidding. I'm totally
kidding.
kidding.
For some reason, Dev is giving a present to an ops who's really excited about it.
Hey, we're probably all gonna get finger tattoos when this is done, right? Knuckle tats. DevOps.
What's up with these infinity symbols?
Oh my God, I just keep thinking the reason is you, because it's all hoobastank. That's all I see here. I don't know about anybody else. But then we also have like dev is in one circle and ops is in the other one. They're apart. They never really touch. But then the people up there where it says the little guys, the little whatevers, they're like shoving the sign together, which makes infinity closer. Is that like a time loop? I don't know.
I have no idea. A lot of Venn diagrams with a union in between it, being that's where the magical unicorn is supposed to be. In that middle,
out
speaking
rainbows.
Of which,
was great.
Unicorn pooping a rainbow. Why, guys? Why are we doing this to ourselves?
I have no idea. So basically, if I was to sum everything up, it's everybody has a different idea of what DevOps looks like, and what all the components are, and what they're supposed to be colored, and if you're supposed to be handsome while doing it. I don't know. And then we have this guy.
So this image always strikes me as being really funny because up at the top we have DevOps, but then we have the duality of the person that we have that's actually shown in the graphic. On one side we have a guy who's dressed very casually. I'm very jealous of him. He looks very comfortable.
Super comfy. Very
comfortable. And it's talking about the work that he's doing as a dev. On the completely separate side, we have somebody who's a little bit more professional in the sense, carrying a beeper. Wow.
I mean, I thought you guys were technologists. I'm confused.
So we have somebody that's on the ops side. We continue to talk about this phrase DevOps as if it's one single piece. And I can say that in the last 2 years that I've been in a DevOps role, I've done both dev and ops. Can anybody here say that they've really been doing just one side of it? I see a lot of heads shaking now.
See a lot of no hands.
I always think about this in terms of Batman. Batman is Batman. At his core, he is Batman. You take away all the fancy gadgets, all the fancy tools, he's still the world's greatest detective. All the things that he has that are on his utility belt are these tools that we talk about and the tools that we're going to continue to talk about today. They help improve, but at your core, you are still that superhero. So we're kind of making the posit, what if you were to not use this title? What if you weren't to use this title and didn't say DevOps at all? What if instead, every day, you came in and you attacked these problems as the complex, interesting, emotional person that you are, ready to engage and problem solve? What if you were to do that?
So what we're trying to tell you guys here today is that we all need to be more than dev, and we need to be more than ops. You just gotta be you. And with that, with the time that we have left, we want to give you something to take home with you, because that way you can go to your boss tomorrow and be like, hey, I learned something. It wasn't just all moving and fun and jumping up and down. So we have a short stack of festo for you.
Any Java developers in the house? Yeah?
What up?
You guys know that Java objects weren't cool until they became Pojos? So this is our branding for all of our ideas.
So you've seen this before, right? These are the basic tenets of improv. You're all experts now. Well, what you didn't know is that we were subliminally messaging to you our fancy name, which is laces. Ha-ha! Now you'll never forget it, I promise. So what we're going to say is tomorrow's Wednesday, we want to challenge you to integrate one of these elements of listening, agreement, collaboration, empathy, storytelling into your day. We're going to give you some examples of how to do that, and just give it a shot, okay? It's going to maybe feel a little weird at first if you're the kind of person that's like, no, or you're just like tired all the time and listening is really hard. It takes up a lot of your person. But once you train at it and get better and better, you're going to nail it, we promise. So Sean's going to start off.
So listening. We've talked a lot about listening. A lot of times somebody might come to you with a problem. They might want to come to you, and they might just kind of want to verbally dump everything that they have, and it's your job just to take a deep breath and just listen. You might have the perfect thing to say. You might have the solution that you can give them right away, and you could cut them off and save them all that breath. In this instance, just pause, take a deep breath, let them finish. If your solution or if your idea is still relevant at the end of that sentence, great, pick it up, discuss that. It might not be, and you can organically begin to respond to them from that point forward, from the final request that they have. And that's just a verbal idea. Now, when I've talked about nonverbal earlier, a good friend of mine and body language expert, Chris Ulrich, always makes mention that if I want to show you that I'm actually paying attention to you and I'm listening and engaged in what you're saying, and not just sort of like an over the top of my head, like, yeah, good to see you, talk to you later. Like, I actually really want to say that I'm engaged in what you're saying. I will orient and position my belly button towards you. He calls that naval intelligence.
That's why he's an expert.
So think about that next time you're having a conversation with somebody.
So agreement. Just say yes to one potential new idea. Tomorrow, you may be in a retrospective, maybe it'll be later in the week, and someone, maybe you have a Brenda. Brenda always has ideas. Her ideas may not sound like the best ideas, but what if you said yes to one of Brenda's ideas? Just this one time. And then you added your own idea to Brenda's idea. Where would that go? You don't know because you've never tried. I'm not saying fund Brenda's idea like $1 million and then start a new startup and like go off into the stratosphere. Just say yes and just see where it goes.
Yeah, being able to add some of that additional information and context to help her feel valued, to help her feel empowered about this. Collaboration. We probably all have stand-ups or sync meetings in the morning, or maybe we don't. Maybe we just sit in front of the computer and we begin solving problems and attacking stuff right when you wake up in the morning. Well, instead of doing that, instead of taking in the tickets that you have to work on, invite somebody over, whether it's peer programming, whether it's a project manager, whether it's a stakeholder. It doesn't matter the type of person. It's being able to involve somebody else in the work that you're doing so that they understand not only the challenges that you face every day, but also your successes, which is vital and key and important, and we'll talk about that in a second.
Empathy. Okay, earlier I talked about empathy with putting yourself into the perspective of the person who you are communicating, who may be a new person. In this instance, we all have a lot of people we have to answer to, right? We have our supervisor. Our supervisors have supervisors. They have leadership. Then there's CXOs galore. And then you have your customers. I mean, like, how do you keep track of all this? It's just a lot, right, to focus on. But the next time before you press send on an email to one of those people, pause for a moment, take a deep breath, and think about the position that they're in. Maybe reframe the way you're writing that email. Maybe add an exclamation point, just one, not more than one, but just, something warm. How are you doing today? Just think about the position that they're in before you respond to that person, and it may help make that relationship better.
The different audiences that Melanie's talking about also come into play in storytelling. I always think of storytelling as, can I take the work that I do and tell a story so that my mom can understand the work that I've been doing for the last 14 years? I don't know that I've ever successfully been able to do that. That's continually a challenge to be able to help her understand some of those things. Being able to take some of those key takeaways and put them in a story that somebody can take to another person and speak eloquently about the work that you're doing, about all those success stories, is vital in terms of being able to not only promote yourself, but also promote your company and the people that you help. So we obviously feel pretty passionate about this, and we could talk about this probably all day.
Forever.
Forever and ever.
Nonstop.
So, but we would like to be able to talk to you guys more about this at some point throughout the afternoon. So if you have questions, we know that this is obviously a big cultural shift in terms of some of the things that you're doing, and I guarantee that some of you are doing these things right now. And so we'd love to be able to engage with you and further talk about how you guys are accomplishing some of these things that we mentioned earlier today as core tenets of improv.
You can also come stalk us on the emails or on the Twitters, which we had earlier. We both have our phones on us. Thank you guys so much. This was really beautiful. I honestly loved the maps you guys made. I hope you're proud of them. And we'll see you around the rest of the day.
Great. Thank you guys.